Hey, welcome to the podcast Domination Show, where we help you launch, grow, monetize, and dominate the podcasting space. This is a show where we believe that if you can get attention with your podcast, you can influence someone. And if you can influence someone, you can get them to take massive action. And if you can get someone to do that, you, my friend, can dominate. I'm Luis Diaz, your host and founder of Podcast Domination, and I'm your guide. Let's go. Hey, so I know you're probably wondering, why is Luis interrupting his own podcast? Well, guess what? I have a little secret for you. And I'm not going to whisper this entire commercial, but I just wrote a book called How to Get 100,000 Downloads in 100 Days, and I want to give it to you for free. Now, this book is going to be on sale on Amazon probably for about $20 or $30. We'll see. But I want to give it to you for free because you are listening to this episode and this podcast, and I appreciate that very, very dearly. So all you have to do to get a free book, a free copy of my book, a physical book if you're in the US, and if you're in the outside of the US, then I will give you a free Audible book version and a free Kindle or ebook version as well. Okay, so here are the steps. Ready? All you have to do is leave a review in the iTunes store for the podcast. If you think it's worthy of 5 stars, I really appreciate it, but I value honest feedback. So leave a review, screenshot it, and tag me on Instagram. My handle is @LuisRyanDiaz, LuisRyanDiaz. Tag me with the book review, and then I'll DM you, or someone from my team will DM you, to ask for your address, and I will send you a copy of my book. Maybe write a little note in there to say thank you, and we'll go from there. So if that sounds good to you, leave a review, and I'll see you on Instagram. Thanks. Now back to the show. All right. I'm about to say third video of the day. Damn, it's only like 8 o'clock. I'm already messing things up. Second video of the day. Yeah. This is where 96% of people fail. And this is a fake statistic, by the way. This is just a generality. But anyways, these are 3 things, what I have back here, 3 things that I think if you focus on these and you actually adhere to these and obey them, your podcast will be way better than anyone else in your niche, in your sector. And it's going to serve you well. Now, you may not have the biggest audience, but your audience is going to be engaged and they're going to reach out to you and they're going to like you. So these 3 things are super important. Like I was saying before, I actually did an Instagram post on these the other day, and one of my buddies said something and it pissed me off, and I took it down. And I was just in a shitty mood. It wasn't like the post was bad or anything. I was just like, whatever, I'll just talk about it on a podcast. It's fine. And yeah, so here we are with that podcast, and this will be a show, but this is going to be a Facebook Live first. So for all my friends listening on the podcast, hope this audio is not too bad for you. But anyways, if you can see this, it says where 96% of podcasters fail. And these are really simple things. I'm not going to act like these are secrets or anything like that. These things are going to make or break you. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to teach you some strategies you can use to actually make sure you're adhering to these as well. So it's not going to be where I'm just kind of pointing out holes in your ship. I actually help you plug those holes. Okay. So number 1, consistency. How the hell? Well, that's really simple, right? Consistency, like posting all the time or on a regular basis. If you think about Game of Thrones, if you think about ESPN, Sports Center, any kind of professional media outlet, they publish on a regular basis and they hit their deadlines, right? Wondery, if you look at all these big name podcasts, like when's the last time you've seen them actually fucking miss a show? Or just like, just kind of not show up for a week, right? It is hard as an indie podcaster to do that, but it's not impossible. And there's one simple thing you can do to prevent that. We tell our clients this all the time. That is batching. So batch recording your episodes, right? Batch recording 4 or 5. It does not take that long to actually produce 4 or 5 episodes. I can knock out 4 or 5 short episodes in a half an hour. Maybe depending on your show, how it's structured, what you're talking about, it could take a little bit longer. But I think if you're going to go into podcasting, it makes sense to batch record and have an episode in your pocket, at least, to push out if you have an off week or something, or you're sick, or you're traveling, or whatever the case may be. So consistency, how you stop that, how you stop that from affecting you. And that's simply batch producing, getting 2 episodes ahead of yourself. And yeah, simple as that. What you might want to do is this simple trick. So do an evergreen episode and keep it in your back pocket. Keep it in kind of like in your Google Drive or something. And this could be as simple as like top 10 books that changed my life, or top 5 books everyone in social media marketing should read. Something really evergreen like that. That's kind of timeless. It's not going to go away. It's relevant information no matter if you post it now or in 2020 or 2025, right? These kind of things are like, for instance, like if you're more experienced, you could do 3 things I wish I knew in my 20s about health and fitness, about getting lean ripped, about marketing. Those are things that like pretty much you can post anytime and it'll be relevant, right? So consistency, you got to make sure you have that covered. Number 2, originality. And this is something I learned from Pat Flynn, and I don't know who he quoted off this, but it's quite simple. To be original, just be yourself. There are no new messages. So anything you're talking about, there's probably 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 other podcasts that are talking about pretty much the same thing, right? So how you be original is be yourself, infuse your personality. If you look at Gary Vee, we all know what his favorite sports team is, right? And it's the Jets, in case you didn't know. And there's probably a bunch of other people. There are another bunch of other people talking about the same shit that he's talking about, but he infuses his personality in it. He infuses his style in it, and it makes him stand out. So his show is like no other. So originality, the easiest way to do that is to realize that this quote, there are no new messages. They're only new messengers, and you are the messenger, my friend. And to make your show similar, just be your fucking self. Like I might start posting like pictures of Giants helmets everywhere. I don't fucking know, just because I'm a Giants fan. You mean like that's how I would be original? Or maybe I'll just start cursing a little bit. I don't know. I do curse here and there, but I try not to. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the easiest thing. Once you realize that, then you realize that like just yourself will make it an original show. So that's that. Number 3, solving problems. So I realized one thing, and it took me listening to a bunch of Gary Vee shit to actually realize this. But if you take out your phone, if you take out your phone and you look at all the apps on your phone, I'm gonna take out my phone right now and show you. All the apps on your phone pretty much do 1 or 2 things. They either are a utility or they are for entertainment. So look at your podcast. Are you a utility podcast like this one? Like this is a utility podcast. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to give you actual shit that's going to move the needle in your business or in your podcast, not your business, just your podcast. I'm not a business coach. But all of these apps on your phone either serve 1 or 2 things, utility or entertainment. Realize that what your podcast is. What problem are you solving, right? Are you solving the entertainment problem? Or are you solving the I need to move the needle in my business problem, or I need to lose 20 pounds problem, or I need to grow my tomato garden problem? It can be anything, but realize what you're trying to do. If you're an entertainer, then entertain. I got clients like that and they're great and I don't have to worry about them because I just know whatever they spit is pretty much gold. So figure out what you're solving. You can also realize that you're solving the problem of telling stories, right? So if you look at Story Brand, really good podcast, by the way, we'll do an episode on them. They are pretty much positioning themselves as the guide. Lewis Howes does this too. He's not the main guy. He's the guide. He brings on experts. He brings on usually New York Times bestselling authors or publishing books. But he's solving the problem of being the guide and basically letting people or sharing a story that's inspiring and impactful to other people. So he's the guy. That's the problem he's solving. He's solving the entertainment problem usually with his guests. So solve problems for your listeners. For me, I'm solving the problem of how to grow your podcast and actually make it so that you don't give up after 3 months like most people do, right? So solving problems, figure out what problems your clients, your listeners have, and then B, figure out how you can solve them on your podcast. Like what conversations need to happen on your show to actually move the needle for them, right? So that's the kind of thing that is going to separate your show from everyone else's. Because what a lot of people will do is get on someone they really want to talk to and connect with, but then let them blab and blab on and not provide any value for anyone else listening. So yeah, it's a cool conversation for you, but that's the reason why your show's growing, is because you're selfish. So 3 things: consistency, originality, problem solving. Focus on those 3 things and your show will be way, way, way better. I guarantee you at least 2 times better. At least double your downloads in a 12-month period. So that's it. I am going to post this on the podcast as well. And if you're listening to the podcast and you don't have the visual, just check the show notes at lewisryan.com and they'll be there. And if you're in the Facebook group, the podcast Domination VIP Inner Circle, what I'll do is I'll copy this down and just write it in the comments. And if you're not in the actual Facebook group, then you need to be. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Hey, what's up? Lewis again. And I get asked this question a lot, so I wanted to answer it here for you in a unique manner. And that question is, Lewis, what exactly do you do? How do you help podcasters? What exactly do you and what does Podcast Domination really help with? Well, instead of me sitting here and telling you all the amazing stuff about us, I thought it'd be fun and interesting for you guys to hear what our clients are saying. So here you go. Please enjoy.
Lewis literally makes my life so much easier. All I have to do is record my content. I don't have to worry about editing it. I don't have to worry about writing show notes. I don't have to create any of my graphics to promote it. He literally does everything for me.
We hired Lewis to kind of help us set up a podcast, for us to put our content out and kind of grow our brand. And all I really have to say, it's been a huge success. It's been really easy. Lewis and his whole team have made the whole process easy, from setting it up originally, which with podcasts is kind of intimidating, and there's a lot of things that if you don't know a lot about the platform, that it's very time consuming. So Lewis made all of that easy.
In the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was completely overwhelmed, confused, stressed out, because I went on YouTube trying to figure out how to set up a successful podcast. And actually going on YouTube, I was just bombarded by so much information that I just wanted to give up on the idea. And then I met a good friend of ours that introduced me to Lewis, and we hit it off. And he just said to me, it's really, really simple. I will take care of everything for you. I think what Lewis has done for me has made it seem so painless. He has took my idea and saved me money. He saved me time and energy. And more importantly, he's made my Persistence Factor podcast sound professional.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those sound bites as much as I enjoyed putting them together. If you have any questions about how we can help you grow, launch, or further your podcasting efforts, feel free to reach out to me at Lewis at Podcast Domination, or you can reach out to my team and ask them some questions. Hello at podcastdomination.co. Both are .co. Just make sure that's, keep that in mind. Anyways, I'll see you on the next episode. And until next time, keep dominating.